we will discuss the principles of programming languages in this series of the lectures. So, the question is, what are the goals or objectives of studying principles of programming languages? So, if you look at the goals, the first goal is to provide necessary tools for critical evaluation of existing and future programming languages, and also the constructs in the programming language. So, we would like to evaluate critically the various languages and the facilities that are available. That is one of the goals of studying this subject of principles of programming languages. The second goal is to prepare for the study of compiler design and construction. So, by studying, evaluating programming languages, we would be able to think of a compiler design. We would like to look at the various designs of compilers. It is just not only design of a compiler, but the construction of the compiler also. That is, we would also like to build the compiler. So, to be able to design and build a compiler, we must have an understanding of the programming languages in general. Of course, the particular programming language for which the compiler is going to be built. So, broadly, these are the two goals of studying this subject. Then we have different paradigms of programming languages. By paradigm, what we mean is the various models, the various styles, the various methods of programming, and therefore the languages. So, we will see later the various styles or methods of programming, and therefore programming languages. So, we have different paradigms of programming languages. Then next question is, what is a programming language? How it is different from a natural language like English, Telugu that we speak? So, there is a difference between a programming language and a natural language. A programming language is a formal language. Formal in the sense, you do not tolerate any ambiguity in the language. That is, when you have a program written, or in other words, you have a sequence of statements, each of the statements has a unique effect. They are not subject to interpretation like in the natural languages. Or in other words, in the formal languages, there is no possibility for an ambiguity. If there is an ambiguity, then the compiler will not be able to decide what should be the code that is to be generated. That is the problem. Unlike formal languages, natural languages will allow and tolerate ambiguity, because based on the context we would make an inference if there is an ambiguity. To give you a simple example, if you consider a statement, they are flying planes. It is an English language sentence that we have got here. They are flying planes. Now, one would like to know the word they, whether it refers to the planes or the pilots who are flying the planes. So, there is an ambiguity here. This is a natural language statement. Based on the context, perhaps we would make an interpretation. This kind of ambiguity is not acceptable in a formal language like in a programming language. A formal language means a programming language. What is a programming language? A programming language is essentially a notational vehicle. So, it is a systematic notation by which computational processes are described. So, a programming language is a systematic notation because a machine must be able to check the syntax and generate the code in an unambiguous manner. So, therefore, the programming language has to be a systematic notation, and this notation is meant for expressing computational processes. By computational process, we mean an algorithm, essentially a method of solving a problem, more formally an algorithm. So, we get computational processes are algorithms described or expressed in a programming language. And we know an algorithm expressed in a programming language is a program. There is proliferation of programming languages. There are hundreds, thousands of programming languages that have been developed, used in various areas of applications. Of all these, only a few of them which could withstand the tests of time, that is Fortran, Lisp and COBOL. Of course, we don't develop new software in COBOL, but then there is a lot of software that is already developed using COBOL. Next question is, what's the purpose of the programming language? What's the goal of a programming language? So, a programming language is a design tool. That is, when we want to solve a problem using a computer system, that means to solve a problem we develop software and we get the software run on the computer, and that's how we solve the problem. So, in the process of solving the problem, to develop the software, or in other words to arrive at the solution to the problem, the programming language is a tool, it is a design tool, it helps in solving the problem. So, in that sense it is a design tool, and it is also a vehicle for human communication. If you look at any of the technical journals in the area of computer science, the algorithms are normally coded in a pseudo programming language. That means they appear as some kind of pseudo programs, that is in one particular language without much importance being given to the syntax. The reason the programming language is used in those journals is there is unique interpretation or unique meaning of the program that is given. If something is described in a natural language, as I said, it is subject to interpretation and there could be a variation. So, when you have a unique meaning, then it is very convenient for communication, and therefore for human communication, that is in technical journals we find the programming languages describing the algorithms. And then it is also a vehicle for instructing the computer. After all, we develop a program, right, and then we run it and get the results. So, we will make the program get compiled on a computer system, and the object code that is produced again will run on the computer system. So, in that sense it is a vehicle for instructing a computer. Next, we will examine the issue, namely why we should study programming languages. So, one important reason why we would like to study programming languages is to improve our understanding of the language that we use. We must have a thorough understanding of the language that is being used, so that you use the right kind of constructs precisely, so that you have a well designed program developed. The second reason is to improve our vocabulary of useful constructs. That is, you have various languages, so you want to develop the program, and therefore what kind of construct we should use? Should we go in for recursion, or we would like to manage with iteration, or if you have a data structure, what kind of data structure we should use, and what facility of the language that we use to compose the abstract data type. So, all this you can have better appreciation and better decision making if you have a good understanding of the language, or in other words, if you study the programming languages. The third reason is to allow better choice of a programming language. For software development, normally we use one of the standard languages, and in the process of software development it is very crucial to choose the right kind of language. So, the development time can be reduced, or in other words the development process can be improved if you can use the right kind of the language based on the application. So, therefore, programming language plays a very significant role in the development of the software, and therefore, if you know about the various languages that are available, one can choose the right language to suit the application. So, to allow better choice of programming languages, therefore, we would like to study the programming languages. Then another reason is, if you know one programming language, if you want to pick up a new language, then you can pick up a new language based on your understanding of an existing language. That is how we normally do, because when new languages are developed, you try to understand and get to know of them based on your experience with the other languages.